Good evening. It's April 7th, 2025, Monday. And it's my pleasure and honor to be sitting here with Mr. John J. Jeckovich this Monday, the 5th week of Lent. How are you doing today, Mr. Jeckovich?
I'm doing great.
You're looking well. Did you have a nice dinner today?
Oh, yeah.
I heard you had a special visitor, your great-granddaughter.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice to have her, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Being the 5th week of Lent, on April 7th, 2025, Mr. Jeckovich was a devout, or is still a devout, Roman Catholic, and so was his mother. We read a short story about the servant of God, Nina Ruiz Abad. On this date, last year, Divine Mercy Sunday, the beautification cause for young Nifa Ruiz Abad officially began. The little girl from the Philippines was known for a deep love of the Trinity, the Eucharist, and the rosaries. By the way, Catholics believe the rosaries are the most powerful tools in the world. And we've been giving out free rosaries to the world for over a decade. And anyone who wants to have a free rosary with a booklet on how to pray the rosary, please text us at 407-366-0000. And also, if you have any questions for Mr. Jeckovich, his mind is like a library. He's knocking on the door of 100. Text any questions to him. Same number, text 407-366-0000. In fact, she was always dressed in white and wore a rosary around her neck. Did your mother play the rosaries?
Oh, yeah, every night, every morning.
You better believe she did. Most powerful tool in the world. Everyone who knew her noticed her faith and love of God. In her neighborhood and school, she passed out rosaries. How do you like that? Passed out rosaries, Bibles, prayer books, and holy cards. When she was 10, Nifa was diagnosed with an incurable disease that caused her heart muscles to thicken. Despite significant health challenges, she had great faith and courage. In 1993, at just the age of 13 years old, she died of a heart attack. Although her life was short, she left a lasting impression on her school and her community. Soon after she died, her grave became a pilgrimage site. I can understand that. The story of the servant of good Nina Ruiz Abad has already inspired many in the Philippines and around the world to imitate her love and devotion to God and live according to her motto. Her motto was this, simply, God first. Yeah, we need more young people like that. We need more people that are Christocentric and less egocentric. They're all on that Facebook, egocentric. They're posting what wonderful on Facebook, Mr. Jeckovich, you know. They're posting what wonderful scholars they are. What wonderful musicians. What wonderful inventive people. But the bottom line, those lies only hurt them. Because when you boast so much like that, eventually you begin your lies, and you don't take an action to better yourself. What you end up doing your whole life is you don't live your dream, but you're making dreams and living the dream for somebody else to profit from your labor. Yeah. So that was an interesting story on this date. And now we're on chapter 4, which is titled Passes the Owensboro. But before I start reading a few pages, Mr. Jeckovich, I'll need your dog tag number.
42965.
Okay, that opens up the computer. And now we're on the 4th chapter, Passes the Owensboro. This is when Mr. Jeckovich is stationed at Camp Breckenridge in Indiana.
Evansville, yeah.
Yeah, Evansville, Indiana. And then you got passes to go see Smith, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Smith's girlfriend got a hotel near the camp in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Yeah.
And she brought around her friend Renee, Elaine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. We'll pick up the pieces. The only nourishment we had were the rations we carried in our light packs, 2 packages of K rations and water from our canteen. I always managed to carry several candy bars, but they soon melted in the heat. In the sun. The hike we took would be about 6 to 8 hours, depending on the terrain and whether walking in the rain had a tendency to eventually slow your pace, as you quickly start to slosh around in the mud and the water. About 6 miles to hike, Elaine fell out and had to be transported back to the dispensary by ambulance. Larson informed me that on our next break, that was an acute heat exhaustion, but I thought it was something more serious. He also told me that Elaine was not feeling well and was going on sick call the following day. You remember that hike?
Yeah.
As we continued to trudge into our halfway mark, Sergeant Baker passed us riding in a Jeep. So Sergeant Baker, he wasn't walking, he was driving in a Jeep.
Yeah.
Well, that's not a good example. I turned to Fink and asked him if I had seen Baker go by. He nodded and just shrugged his shoulders. On our next break, Baker pulled alongside us and told Fink he was in charge of the squad. He was going back to camp as he sprained his ankle and could not walk on it. Do you think that was a fabricated story?
Yeah.
Yeah. We thought that was a crock. Here you go. We thought that was a crock and feel more disgusted with Baker. So Baker was simply a slacker.
23 minutes.
He was a slacker. At halfway marker, we took a 20-minute break, patched our sore feet, those that needed it, and started our journey back to camp. It seemed to go more smoothly now that we had gotten the pace and rhythm. It was completely drenched and the straps from my pack were biting into my soaked shoulder and back. There was not much talking or wisecracking, just the steady sound of 1,000 feet pounding on the ground at the same time.
Yeah.
That must have been very loud.
Yeah.
Very loud, right?
All in step.
All in step. Oh boy. On the breaks, everyone would drop to the ground and use their packs for a pillow. Is that what you did? Use it for a pillow? And just shut their eyes and think of something cool and refreshing. It was getting harder and harder to get up after each break. Captain Goodnight would come by every break, and on the last break he gave us candy bars that he had carried in the ambulance to keep from melting. I did not see him or the other officers riding the Jeep or ambulance the entire hike. The only one I thought had goofed off was Sergeant Baker, and I'm sure he would have a good explanation for it. We reached our 3/4 mark, and strangely enough, the droplets decreased measurably. The dropouts decreased measurably. I imagine it was due to the fact that we got our second wind, and the weaker ones among us had been widowed out and attritioned out. Besides, it had gotten cooler and the rain had stopped. I did not mind the hikes, and I think I rather enjoyed them. While walking, I would think of home, of what little I had left behind compared to some of the other people. I also wondered if I'd ever be in a position to have a wife and family, someone to care for and be cared for in return. I thought of Elaine and the experience we shared together that night in Evansville. It was a spontaneous outburst of emotion, and I was not ashamed of it, nor should I be. My only regret of the entire episode was it did not place under more desirable circumstances without the presence of Smith and Betsy. Did Smith ever go overseas with you?
No.
What happened to him?
He got a discharge, metal discharge.
Mental discharge?
Yeah.
I wonder how you do that.
Yeah, it
You
worked
think he
out.
fabricated it?
Yeah.
He wanted to get back to that girl, right?
Yeah.
As dusk approached, we reached the main gate and marched directly to the company area. At this point, while we were still in formation, Captain Goodnight spoke to us about the outstanding job we had done on the hike and that he was impressed with our accomplishment all through our training period. He also stated we had attained our goal in our training objective and were well on our way to becoming first-rate infantrymen and soldiers. Again, he praised us and said hot chow was available, and soon we had showered and changed clothes.
19 minutes.
He then dismissed us. It sounded like a textbook type pep talk, and none of us took it very seriously. So many of those pep talks are textbook type.
Yeah.
So he didn't take it seriously. We later found out that Elaine had to be taken to the base hospital for further evaluation and testing. As was the case with all hikes of this nature, we were given the next half day off with no reveille call, and the first formation day would be at 1300 hours. We all slept late the next morning, and I used my extra time to catch up on my letter writing and do some little house cleaning of my personal belongings and straighten out my foot locker. Does a foot locker you take with you or stays at the base?
Stays at the bed.
I would like to have written a letter to Elaine, but since I did not have her address, I did not want to ask Smith for it. I put it out of my mind. I knew I was making too much of a short acquaintance, and it was juvenile of me to act that way, but I could not put the entire issue aside. I later realized it was my inexperience in matters such as these that had given me such concern, and resolved to do better the next time the opportunity presented itself. It seemed as though our last 25-mile hike had really been a turning point in our training program. We all sensed that the rapid pace we all had endured, and for the past several months, and suddenly throttled down to a more moderate gait. The schedule was not as hectic nor demanding. It seemed as though we were making time and reminded me of Uptown. Our revised schedule evolved into the routine, reveille to retreat ritual, and what made it more appropriate and expedient was more weekend passes were dealt out. I had not been out of camp. I had not been out of camp on a pass since the time with Smith, Elaine, and Betsy in Evansville. Smith approached me on the new schedule was in effect and asked if I'd give him a 3-day pass to South Carolina. Now he wants to drive to South Carolina. Smith.
Yeah.
He's out of his mind.
Yeah.
Wow. To see Betsy and Elaine. I agreed, but I told him I don't think we could manage a 3-day pass. Never manage a 3-day pass to that distance. Never. I agreed, but I told him I did not think we could have managed a 3-day pass. He said he would try and let me know how he made out. As it worked out, Smith cajoled a 3-day pass out of Captain Goodnight and Sergeant Whalen, under the pretext that his fiancée was to have his first baby. He lied about it, right?
Yeah.
And it was imperative that he be there with her. He felt bad that he could not include me in the deception, but I understood and said, sure to say hello to Elaine for me and tell her I miss her. Would I like to have seen Elaine once again, but under different circumstances other than Smith and Betsy. Do you want me to read another page, or you feel like taking questions?
No, I want to take the question.
Yeah, 'cause we have a lot of questions here. We have a lot of questions here.
So yeah, Dave, it was 4 girlfriends, not 3.
Yeah, 4 girlfriends.
What?
You had 4 girlfriends during the war. You had Elaine, Annie, Renee, and
Haverford's West, what's that one?
Annie,
Mahaney.
Renee, Elaine. Who am I
What's
missing?
the Haverford West?
That's Annie, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's Owensboro.
Yeah.
Oh, Jean.
Jean, yeah.
Okay, that's a 4, yeah.
There's 4.
Okay. Let me see if I got that right now. Ann Mahaney from Owensboro, Kentucky. Ann Mahoney from Haverford West. Elaine from Evansville, Indiana. And Renee
From
from Paris.
Yeah,
I'm down, right?
yeah.
4 girlfriends.
Well, you were busy. You were a busy man. You're a busy man. All right, do you feel up to any of these questions?
Go ahead.
Minutes?
14.
These are questions from all around the world, so if you don't like them, don't answer them, but they might be easy questions to answer, or they might be completely off the wall. We'll just read them and see how we do. Mr. Jeckovich, do you believe in the saying, kill your enemies with kindness?
Kill my enemies with kindness?
Yeah, your enemies, treat them with great kindness.
Yeah.
Okay. What were you self-taught about in your earlier years? What did you teach yourself?
It's a self-honor.
Self-taught. What did you teach yourself when you were a boy?
Self-taught?
Yeah, did you teach yourself electricians or driving a car?
Oh, woodworking, all that stuff, yeah.
You self-taught then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. When you were in the service, what was the heaviest thing you could lift?
Heaviest thing I could lift? Full field pack.
Wow.
Or the machine gun carriage or whatever.
Mr. Jeckovich, you jogged for 80 years. During these 80 years, did you ever consider running a triathlon or a marathon?
No.
No. Okay. Who was the strictest parent, your mother or father?
Mother.
Mother. When you were a boy, they don't have this now, but they did back then. Did you ever forward or reply to any chain mails?
Say again?
You know, back when you were a boy, they don't have this now, there was chain mails. People would write a letter, and you'd have to rewrite it and send it to somebody else, or bad luck.
No, I didn't do that.
You never
no,
did that, okay.
No.
When you were a boy or an adult, did you ever grow your own food?
Grow my own food? No.
I thought you grew tomatoes.
I put tomatoes up on the garage floor, or ceiling, yeah. Roof.
What specific work have you done in your life that you admire the most?
Pacific work?
And what work did you like that you
Woodworking.
Woodworking. When you were in the service and on leave, did you ever whistle in public?
Listen, what?
Did you ever whistle in public?
No.
No. There's a Catholic saying which says, be kind to strangers. You'll never know when you're entertaining angels. Mr. Jeckovich, do you believe in angels?
No.
No. Okay. Were you popular in school?
No, I was quiet.
Quiet. Mr. Jeckovich, what do you like more, coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Coffee. Did
I
you
don't drink coffee anyway. I haven't drank coffee in a long
tea?
time. I haven't drank tea either.
What do you drink?
Milk and cold stuff. I don't drink no pop or nothing.
Were you a swimmer when you were a boy?
Swimmer?
Yeah.
I used to go down to Fort Niagara swimming, but we didn't go out very far.
Mr. Jeckovich, if you were a swimmer as a boy, what was your preferred swimming stroke?
A side stroke.
Side stroke, yeah. Mr. Jeckovich, when you were a boy, there was a lot of snow. in Niagara Falls. Did you ever throw a snowball that got out of control? That hit somebody, a snowball?
Oh, we had snowball fights, yeah.
Oh, you had snowball fights. Who would you fight with?
Well, the other kids on the street.
Oh, really? That must have been fun. Did you make snowmans?
Yeah, snowmans, yeah. We built a snow hut. Remember those people that had moved and built that snow hut?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Jeckovich, when you were a boy, did you ever help someone cross the road?
Yeah. An old lady or a guy was half up, drunk or something.
Okay. What is the first impression you want to give to people?
Of me? Well, I was never concerned about that.
Okay. Do you believe in horoscopes? Do you read your own horoscope?
Horoscope?
Yeah.
I look at it, it's interesting.
Do you believe in them?
No.
Are you a pacifist?
Pacifist?
Yeah.
No, I'm in the army, I'm not a pacifist.
Who taught you how to drive?
I probably taught myself.
So you're self-taught.
Yeah.
When you were a boy, there's all kinds of beautiful Italian restaurants and Polish restaurants in Niagara Falls. What was your favorite place to eat pizza at when you were a boy?
Polish Nook.
Oh, yeah. And they had a Polish Nook, believe it or not.
Yeah.
They were packed the other day.
Yeah.
They were packed. Do you remember Gabowski's?
Oh, the Volskis?
Yeah, they were packed too. They're still open.
Yeah.
102 years old. They're still open. Wow. Mr. Jeckovich, what makes you lose sleep?
Move what?
Lose sleep. What subject makes you lose sleep?
Little sleep?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about something.
How about your frostbite?
Oh, my frostbite, yeah.
When you were a little boy, did you have a favorite hiding space?
A what?
When you were a little boy, did you have a favorite hiding space?
Hiding space?
Yeah.
In the back of the side of the garage.
Okay. Mr. Jeckovich, you did all kinds of construction work, woodworking work. Have you ever painted a house?
Painted a house? Oh, yeah.
Who'd you paint it with?
I did it myself.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
I wonder how those brushes are. I cleaned those brushes real good.
I'll check them.
I haven't seen those brushes in 5 years.
I'll check them for you. Hey, listen, when you were a little boy, you went trick-or-treating on Halloween. What costumes did you enjoy wearing the most?
Probably a tramp or something.
Tramp. I think that was the most common one there because everyone can make it
Yeah.
without buying anything, right? Right? Have you ever resented anybody?
Resented?
Yeah.
Oh, when they start bragging or something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Bragging
Yeah.
people. Oh, my God. They don't stop. They don't stop. Are you an organ donor?
Organ donor?
Yeah.
No.
Should parenting classes be mandatory for new parents?
Do what?
Should parenting classes be mandatory for new parents?
For new what?
New parents.
No.
Okay. Have you ever given someone a handmade present?
Handmade what?
Handmade present?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you remember what it might be?
Or it might be something out of wood.
Yeah. What type of person angers you the most?
One that's bragging all the time.
Yeah. Mr. Jeckovich, could you live without electricity for 1 week?
Probably, yeah.
Probably, yeah. What was your favorite occupation?
My occupation?
Your favorite occupation? You had many.
Working with my uncle.
Your Uncle Andy at Clydesdale, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. What was your greatest extravagance in your life?
Great extravagance?
In your life?
Probably buying my own car. That Pontiac, yeah.
Okay.
Red seats.
What make was it?
Huh?
What make was it?
It's probably 42, 43.
That was Pontiac?
Yeah.
That was nice. That was nice. That was nice. Mr. Jeckovich, since you had over 4 girlfriends during World War II, the question here is, what is the quality you most like in a woman?
A woman?
What's the quality that you like?
Well, she got to be good looking, first of all.
Okay, first
Have
one.
good features, have a good personality,
Right?
have cheerful. It's something I could relate to.
Okay. So good looking first then, right?
Pardon?
You say good looking first then, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh. Okay. That's good. Mr. Jeckovich, you went to Owensboro during a pass with Smith, but what was the wildest thing you've ever done?
The loudest?
The wildest thing you ever done?
Probably during Halloween.
Halloween. I see. Mr. Jeckovich, do you sing in the shower?
No.
Do you think people can be born evil?
Sure, oh yeah.
Yeah. People can be born evil. The Bible will tell you, if you keep reading it, some people are born with no souls.
Oh, yeah.
So, no souls. During your lifetime, about how many hats have you owned?
The what?
During your lifetime, how many hats have you owned?
Hadn't the what?
Minutes?
Minute and a half.
How many hats have you owned during your lifetime?
Hats? I didn't wear many hats.
Okay.
I wore wool hat in the winter time.
Mr. Jeckovich, when you went camping, are you able to erect a tent?
A what?
When you went camping, were you able to erect a tent? Were you able to put up a tent when you went camping?
Put a tent up? Oh yeah, we put one up for the Expo 67. We got there in the middle of the night, had to put that big tent up. We rented a tent, there's a big tent.
And did you have a nice spot?
Yeah, right near the fence, with barbed wire fence. And we made reservations too.
And so it was jam-packed, they pushed you back, right?
Yeah,
How long did you stay at the Expo 67?
probably a week.
Was it educational?
For what?
Was it educational?
Well, it was something interesting. It was something we'd seen, yeah.
Was there more Americans or Canadians there?
Well, Canadians more.
Did you have just some good meals there?
Oh yeah, the restaurants are great there.
How many hour drive was it from your house?
Probably half a day,
That was a long drive.
yeah.
Did you have any trouble going through customs?
20 seconds.
No. It wasn't like it is today.
Oh, how was it then? Tell me.
Just show them your license and that's it.
They wave you through.
Yeah.
How is it today?
Well, you see it on TV, yeah.
Passports, background checks.
Yeah, checking your luggage and everything.
Would you go to Canada today?
No,
Too much, right?
too much, yeah.